Okay, indeed. Welcome into the guest room. That's right. This is the guest room, and it's a podcast, and you're listening to it. And this is a show where we like to play guessing games and do trivia and stuff like that. So I'm your host, Mike. That's Kevin over there.
Hi.
That's Andy.
Hello.
And coming back for yet another appearance is our most dedicated listener, Matthew.
Yeah, for sure.
Or is that KD?
I'm just doing my best KD impression.
So Matthew, it's been a little while since we've had you on, but
It's been too long, frankly.
yeah, thank you for coming back. I think the last time he's going to be hosting today, right?
That's right.
Yeah, the last time you hosted, I don't think that it ended particularly well for most people.
I don't know that Are we thinking the same episode? Because I remember it ending particularly well.
I think Mike ended up with 2,800 times Andy's score and an infinite amount of times your score, if I remember correctly.
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Fantastic. Well, that is correct. Matthew is going to show us what he's prepared. He's got a Jepisode board ready.
Did we determine whether Jepisode was how it was spelled?
Well, I think there's a split. There's a great split, a great divide amongst
schism.
the cast. That's right.
Thanks, Adam Schefter. Schism.
Yeah, I think there's an O. Well, two O's.
Yeah, I agree.
You're wrong.
I couldn't disagree more.
And there he is doing his best KD impression.
It's
yet
the
again.
Jeps.
Is that like the yips?
Sure.
I guess we'll
Which
find
is
out.
what you have when you never buzz in for the first half of an episode.
Andy
Still beat you last time.
He's just keeping his powder dry.
He's just chewing his high chew into the microphone.
At least he's not wheezing this time.
When we play
Maybe why I
Jeopardy
wheeze.
on the guest room, we call that episode a
Jepisode.
And so, Matthew, why don't you walk us through your Jepisode categories, and we can find out what's in store.
All right, so I was inspired by Celebrity Jeopardy, a skit on Saturday Night Live. I was also surprised to find out that Real Jeopardy has actually occasionally used Celebrity Jeopardy categories.
No way.
In there. Yeah, there's been a
Props.
couple episodes.
Props to them.
Yeah.
Was that an accident or actually?
No, on purpose.
Wow.
Yeah, like one of the categories was Surprise Me, Trebek.
That's awesome.
So all of these categories, though, are categories from Celebrity Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live. You'll see within the categories there may be some twists, but here they are. So the first one is current U.S. presidents. Countries between Canada and Mexico.
Okay. All right.
S words, also known as swords. Words that rhyme with dog. Things you shouldn't put in your mouth. And finally, colors that are red. And for those wondering, the final Jeopardy category will also be from Celebrity Jeopardy.
Was that in response to something in particular?
Oh, I just saw something written on Kevin's board that made me laugh. Oh, boy. No, that won't make it on the pod.
I was just putting the last fifth category with this fifth category.
Yeah, that's right.
There were definitely a few categories that I considered but couldn't be used in polite conversation.
Oh, so S words isn't what I think it is.
Sheba.
The joke on S words is that it's swords. That's how Sean Connery pronounced it.
Did you consider therapists as a category?
I did. That was one that I decided not to go with. Plus, therapist is also pretty hard to come up with six good clues.
I don't see potent potables up here.
I definitely considered potent potables, but
The
there
number
were
10.
6 good ones.
All right. Well, I appreciate what you've already done, and hopefully we will continue to appreciate it as the night goes on. Let's see. Who's the lucky winner from last time?
What's his name?
Cusco.
No, it's Kevin.
Is that from Ratchet and Clank?
It's a special
man.
character unlock.
Pay to win.
We're going to get to the point where we have so many inside jokes that we just throw back and forth based on previous episodes that
No, whenever I'm in the jungle, I want to play Ratchet and Clank.
who doesn't really? Yeah, so I guess I'll start us off.
Go for it.
Let's go for countries between Canada and Mexico for 100.
For 100, this country's got soul, spelled with
Andy.
me. Andy.
What is South Korea?
That is correct.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Between latitude, the lowest latitude of Canada and the highest latitude of Mexico.
Let's go countries between Canada and Mexico for 200.
At Thanksgiving, Kevin allegedly tells his mom to
Kevin.
blank.
Turkey.
That is correct. allegedly tells his mom to blank me. For those of you who listen to that episode, turkey me is the correct episode.
Oh, man. Okay.
What'll it be?
Countries between Canada and Mexico for 3. By the way, Katie would love that you did this category.
This country's flag has a cross and 9 blue
Kevin.
and white. Kevin.
Oh, no. Angola.
Andy. Greece.
That is correct. A cross and 9 blue and white stripes. All right, Andy, you control the board for once.
For once, I suck. 400. Oh.
This country borders only the Atlantic on the south and west, and one country on the north and east.
Can you repeat it?
This country borders only the Atlantic on the south and west, and one country on the north and east.
Kevin. Portugal.
That is correct.
Countries for 5.
This country is the world's 3rd largest by population. Everybody's counting on their fingers.
Kevin.
The
United States.
That is correct. Well known as being a country between Canada and Mexico.
Some would say that.
1 of 6.
We'll go for 6.
This is the smallest nation in Central Asia by area, and its name literally means land of the non-Turks. So-
Mike.
Mike.
Turkmenistan.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's not correct. Somewhere up there, I believe Katie's smiling down on us right now. Anybody else?
It literally says Turk minus in the country.
Boop, boop, boop. The answer is Tajikistan.
Wait, did you say smallest by area?
Yes.
In
Central
Central Asia.
I guess it depends how you define Central Asia.
You never want to fight a land war
That's
there either.
that's also harking back to an episode that wasn't released.
I hated that episode.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Oh.
Secret archives.
Yeah.
There are secret archives.
Mhm.
Things you shouldn't put in your mouth for 1.
Eating this holiday plant may cause
Kevin. Poinsettia.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Eating this holiday plant may cause a slow heartbeat, but probably not the kiss of death.
Hold on.
Mike.
Mike.
Mistletoe.
Took you guys long
I'm
enough.
sorry, but Andy called Hold On, which reserves his spot for
Yeah.
For when he's actually going to say his name.
I didn't want you to do the beep, beep, beep. So, no. It's going to get there.
Hold On was called. All right.
Time out.
Mike, it's your board.
Let's go current U.S. presidents for 100.
This person is the current president of Apple, so there aren't too many of him in the kitchen. Andy.
Who's Tim Cook?
That is correct.
Current U.S. presidents, 200.
This person is the current president of the United States.
Mike.
Yep.
Joe Biden.
Mike. 200 for Mike.
I think you mean Jill Biden.
All right, Mike, the board is yours.
Let's go current U.S. presidents for 300.
This person is the current president of Samaritan's Purse, though still not as famous as his father.
Kevin. Franklin Graham.
That is correct.
Presidents for 4.
The current president of the NBPA is this...
Kevin. Chris Paul.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The current president of the NBPA is this Blazers guard who replaced Chris Paul in 2021. Mike.
Who's Damian Lillard?
That is incorrect. Andy, there's only so many Blazers guards out there.
Can you repeat the question?
The current president of the NBPA is this Blazers guard who replaced Chris Paul in 2021.
I'll wager a guess, but I don't think it's right. Is it C.J. McCollum?
Are you guessing for
Yeah,
points or
yes,
not for points?
points.
For
C.J.
points?
C.J.
McCollum is correct.
Oh, I didn't think he was a guard.
But you don't get the points because you didn't think it was correct.
I think he was a guard. I thought he was a forward. What?
I'm just trying to give you a withering stare.
Why?
He's part of the starting backcourt of the Trailblazers.
I didn't think he was a guard. I thought he was a forward.
The
Sorry.
positions are so flexible these days.
Like, what's Mikhail Bridges?
What even is it?
He's a
to you?
small forward.
He's a forward.
That's what I thought that C.J. McCollum was.
Well, you got it right.
Because
you
he
didn't
also
trust
has an
your gut.
M in his name.
Sure. Current U.S. presidents, 500.
This person is the current president of the U.S. Senate.
Kevin Harris.
That is correct. Yes, the vice president also holds the position of as president of the Senate. So Kamala Harris is correct.
600.
This person is the current president of Microsoft, but no relation to Andy.
I know his last name.
I'm going to need the first name on this one for obvious reasons.
It's not that category, Andy.
Nope.
Boop, boop, boop. I'm sorry, it was Brad Smith. Brad Smith.
Ah, Brad. We go way back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, Kevin, the board is yours.
Can I get a barely after two categories update?
Yeah, Mike is working his way back up to positives from minus 700. Andy's at 900 and Kevin at 1100.
You guys
Okay.
have gotten through two categories and put one thing you shouldn't put in your mouth.
Yes, let's put a second thing.
All right. These tiny rectangles are coated in a bittering.
Andy.
Yes, Andy.
You made a Kevin.
Legos.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. These tiny rectangles are coated in a bittering agent so that you only stick them in the console. Boop, boop, boop. I'm sorry, the correct answer was switch cartridges.
That one for 3.
Putting the two same-side terminals of this on your tongue typically produces a metallic taste and a jolt.
Kevin?
Yes, Kevin.
Battery?
I'm going to need you to be more specific.
Car battery?
Andy.
Andy,
9-volt battery.
that is correct. If you put the two terminals of a car battery on your tongue,
It would taste metallic and it would give you a jolt.
you can't put them on your tongue. They're not close enough together.
If you don't have a 14-inch tongue. I'm sorry. I want credit for my answer.
No, I'm not going to give
Well, it's like the same like cattle prod. Oh, you get a jolt. You put a cattle prod in your mouth.
Yeah, but there's not. I guess there are two sides of a kettle prod.
All right, let's go.
That was for 300?
That was for 3, yes.
You can give me 6 if you want. Things you shouldn't put in your mouth, 400.
At 2.2 million SHU, this is the world's hottest pepper.
Andy?
Andy,
What is it, Carolina Reaper?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Things you shouldn't put in your mouth, 500.
This flowering plant killed Socrates. Mike is in silent agony. Kevin is doing silent jujitsu.
Tai Chi. I'm just not.
I'm just thinking of Anne of Green Gables. It's the wrong one.
Be quiet. I'm thinking.
Mike, why does that always go back to Anne of Green Gables for you? I feel like we need to have a discussion.
Kevin, if you buzz in, it'll come to you after you say it.
No.
Trust me, that's how it works.
He tries that on
you
every
have,
other
you have an
question.
epiphany, and it's like, oh,
5 seconds unless somebody says, hold on.
Andy, say it.
hold on.
All right.
For them.
Seconds. Boop, boop, boop. The correct answer is hemlock.
Not strychnine.
No, not strychnine.
That's funny.
Put strychnine in the bed, in the will.
Things you shouldn't put in your mouth, 600.
In January 2018, Procter & Gamble aired ads telling
Andy.
people... Yes, Andy.
Tide Pod.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah. I almost said Pied Todd coming back, but
I have to have at least one Tide Pod or Pied Todd reference in every board.
Let's
All
go.
right, give us an update after 3.
Yeah, after 3, Mike is still working his way back from negative 700. Kevin has 800, and Andy has 2,000, and is in control of the board.
Andy,
I think you
has
got
Day is mine.
well played. Well played.
I'll take
all downhill from
swords for 100.
Swords for 100. All right, S words for 100. The pen is mightier than this. Kevin.
sword.
Yes.
That's an S word.
I'll take S words for 2.
This is a sudden piercing thrust, usually in the back if you're playing diplomacy. Andy.
Backstab. What is backstab?
I'm sorry.
Kevin.
The judges are going to
Oh, yeah,
say
no.
on that
No.
one. Kevin.
Stab.
Yes. If the category was,
S word.
Turns out it's an S word.
Duh, Andy. Gosh.
if the category wasn't called S
Oh,
words,
no.
I like what you've done with this, but I want to add a different word in the front.
Stab back.
that's for BS words. That's a different category.
Yeah. Let's do S words for 3.
Reminds me of the Rice Krispies. No!
Except you didn't realize it right away.
No, yeah.
This word may mean cutting with a violent movement, like Cordell Stewart running
Kevin?
through. Yes, Kevin.
Slice.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's incorrect.
Can you repeat the question?
This word may mean cutting with a violent movement, like Cordell Stewart running through a defense.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my other answer. Slice.
You're still incorrect.
Can you repeat the first part?
This word may mean cutting with a violent movement.
Slice.
Like Cordell Stewart running through a defense.
Slicing through a defense.
Andy?
Andy.
Stu?
No, it's not Stu.
You said it like Cordell Stewart.
That sudden violent stewing motion.
You can't.
You're tricking me.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm really trying to help you,
it
Andy.
was like the nuts category all over again.
Not trying to rob you.
Stew. I'm trying to stew you.
It was just like Cordell Stewart.
Okay, I still maintain that slice is a good answer.
It's not violent.
The correct answer is Slash, which is also Cordell Stewart's nickname.
What?
Nobody remembers that Cordell Stewart was
No.
nicknamed Slash?
No. Also, you can slice someone's head off. That sounds like a pretty violent movement.
Sure. But
Slice
that's why you have
someone's
to listen
head
to
off?
That's why you have to listen to Cordell Stewart.
No one knows who Cordell Stewart even is.
Slice me a piece of bread and show me the violence.
Normally the bread already comes sliced, so I haven't seen it.
I'll stew you the bread.
Yeah, it's the best thing since stewed bread. All right, I don't even know who has control of the board at this point. I'm all
How much, was that the 300?
That was the 300.
So Andy didn't even delete that one.
So I think Kevin got the 200 because he got stabbed.
I did.
Oh yeah, that happened.
I still maintain slice was good. S words for 4.
This wicked word can mean sudden horizontal movement of a sword or a ball.
Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
Slice.
Thank you, Kevin.
Also would work for 3.
Slice is the correct answer.
S words for 5.
This sword is associated with light cavalry or a
Kevin.
fictional... Yes, Kevin.
Saber.
That is correct. Or a fictional Florida-based printer company.
Sabre.
It's an office reference there.
6.
This short sword with a curved blade is...
Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
Scimitar.
That is correct. Very good.
Jeez.
Is commonly
You just
associated with the Middle
wrecked
East.
that category.
Scimitar.
Yeah, I got the 300 one right too. Score update with 2 categories to go.
Yeah, so Mike, -700. Kevin, 2,300. Andy, 1,500.
Wow. How the turntables.
Colors that are red for 100.
Colors that are red for 100. This red is like a tide.
Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
Crimson.
Crimson, thank you.
2.
This red may be a hair color or a university.
Andy.
Andy.
Auburn.
That is correct.
Colors that are red. 3.
Always 5 there are of this red.
Always 5 there are.
That's the only thing I'm thinking of.
Boop, boop, boop. The correct answer is maroon.
Ah.
Insert clever Maroon 5 song reference here. All right, we'll just leave that in as a placeholder.
As if there's a clever Maroon 5 song.
Well, it could be a clever reference if I knew a Maroon 5 song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's one with a
there's-
day in it. right?
what a day! Sunday morning.
Oh, there you go.
She Will Be Loved.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Those would all have been good. You can insert one of
Sugar?
those later.
Probably.
Yeah, Sugar, that's the only one that I knew about. All right, who has control of the board? I think Andy, because he got Auburn.
Yep.
Colors that are red. 4.
It's a daily double, Andy.
It's always Andy.
The game is on the line.
Andy, you've got 1,700 points to wager.
How many does Kev have?
Kevin's got 2,400 points. Do you want to know how many I have?
Let's go.
Minus 700 still.
Let's go 600.
All right, for 600. Frankly, my dear, this red shares a name with a petulant O'Hara.
Scarlet.
That is correct for 600.
Colors that are red. 500.
This red is a wine and also a French region.
And Andy.
Yes, Andy.
Merlot.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Mike.
Mike.
Cabernet.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Dare you, Kevin? Dare you venture in where angels fear to tread?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Port.
No.
Port is a red wine.
I thought somebody would answer that.
I thought that was a throwback, surely.
The correct answer is burgundy, which is a shade of red, unlike your other answers.
Yes, but port is a callback.
I don't speak French.
Remember, the category is colors that are red.
Yes, but port is a callback.
Yes.
Merlot is a red color.
I was going to make the port reference
Kind
if
of
you
a
did.
purpley color.
Yeah, it is true.
But it was worth 500 for that.
We all lost.
All right. Andy,
Yeah, I had to
board's
join
still
you.
yours.
Colors that are red for 6.
Another nickname for the galloping ghost.
Mike.
Mike.
Red.
That is correct. Red Grange, famous football player from the
That was
old days.
gross.
Well, it was.
You got USA.
But as a 600 pointer, come on.
It's colors that are red. Just look at the category.
I'm with Kevin on that one. Gross.
Sorry, guys, that I made my way back up to negative 600.
He
All
just
right,
keeps hanging around.
Words that rhyme with dog. 100.
An 8-letter word for a children's game involving jumping over others.
Andy.
Kevin.
Andy.
Was hopscotch? Oh, no!
I said Kevin after him.
But Mike buzzed in after Andy's incorrect answer. So
Oh, my
Mike
gosh.
is up next.
It was in my mind and I said hopscotch.
Go ahead, Mike.
Gosh,
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog is correct. Hopscotch does not rhyme with dog, for those of you playing at home.
Words that begin with S. Backstab. Words that rhyme with dog.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know why. I
Like
did
our
that.
whole intro is going to just be Andy quotes.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's stick with 200.
All right, words that rhyme with dog for 200. An 8-letter word for a tadpole.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Pollywog.
Pollywog is correct.
Can I get a 4 questions to go score update?
You sure can. Mike is up to negative 500. Andy's got 1,700. And Kevin with 21.
All right. Words that rhyme with dog for 800 or 600.
600?
Oh, for 600.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. A 10-letter word for filing a book in the wrong place in the library.
I assume that means he failed. Kevin picked up his whiteboard and then set it back down again with nothing on it.
He scratched out some things, erased them, and set it back down in despair. Anybody?
Nope.
Boop, boop, boop. The word is miscatalog.
I knew it ended with LOG. That's what I wrote. I wrote log, and I was like, can I think of the first 7 letters?
Andy thought it ended with scotch. Scotch.
500.
A 9-letter word for a rodent once kidnapped by Phil Connors.
It would help if I knew who Phil Connors was. I'm sure some listeners are just screaming at us right now.
I'm sure they are. All right, I'll read the question in a way with different intonation that may help. A 9-letter word for a rodent once kidnapped by Phil Connors.
That didn't help me.
Phil Connors?
I think he's seen a movie that the 3 of us haven't seen.
I'm pretty sure all 3 of you have seen it.
Andy, what's it end with?
Scotch.
Words that rhyme with scotch is definitely going to be a future category.
I can't believe I did that. I mean, I can, but
We all can.
Swatch.
All right, boop, boop, boop. The correct answer is groundhog from the movie Groundhog Day.
well, I've seen it.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I have too.
Needle Nose Ned the Head.
That's one of those movies that, like,
Ned.
as soon as
Ryerson.
I don't know, just nothing stuck. for
My
me.
mind wasn't on that kind of rodent. That's where I was.
I had forgotten that he kidnapped him.
Got the shingles real bad in high school. Almost didn't graduate. All right, I'll move on.
Wow, he's seen that movie a lot more times
I
than we
have. It's a great movie.
He's seen it almost like the movie itself.
Exactly. I woke up one day and had to watch it 1,000 times.
4.
An 8-letter word for a large amphibian.
Mike.
Mike,
Bullfrog.
that is correct.
I was thinking large
Mike,
frog.
you're so close to getting out of the
I was thinking
negatives.
iguana dog.
You got to get this one, though, Mike.
Let's go 300.
All right, Mike needs this to make Final Jeopardy. Here we go. An 8-letter word for the species of tail's friend.
Kevin.
Kevin,
Hedgehog.
that is
Yeah.
correct. Very good. I was worried somebody would say Sonic. S words.
Sonic
by
dog.
somebody who was meaning Andy.
Oh, so Mike does not make Final Jeopardy.
Final scores, Mike almost made it back up to 0 with negative 100. Andy with 1,700 and Kevin with 2,400.
All right. The category is letters of the alphabet. All right, I have seen the bids. Here is your clue. This is the 8th most frequently used English letter in normal parlance. Andy looks confident, but that doesn't really tell me anything.
How many letters can you think of?
At least 30. 32.
Have you been able to eliminate any?
33. 34.
All right, are you ready?
No. Yes? No? I don't know.
All right. Time is up.
I mean, this is just a shot in the dark.
Mi- let's see Mike's answer.
All right. Everybody wants to see Mike's answer for charity purposes. Mike answered L. L is not the correct answer. All right. Andy took a big
L was
sigh
something
of-
I was
big sigh
considering.
of relief there. L was high on his list.
Top 26.
Andy answered N. I'm sorry, that's also not the correct answer. All right.
What was
Kevin.
Andy's wager?
Andy wagered 1,500. So, Kevin, I believe you're safe either way. Kevin also answered L, bidding 1,001, and that is also incorrect.
All right. So here was my thought
Wait,
process.
don't
Before
you
you
wanna-
tell us
okay.
the right answer,
Yeah.
here was my thought process. In Wheel of Fortune, they give you RST, L, and E.
Right.
I figure in my head that E is the most common. I figure that there are probably at least one other vowel that's in the top 8, and probably at least 2, maybe even 3 vowels in the top 8. I don't know. And I was thinking, okay, maybe the consonants in RST, L, and E are given to you in order. So if I take, the E and 2 vowels and stick it in front of that, then R's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would give me N. So I was like, it's probably A, E, I, and O are all in front of them. So then I backed up one and chose L. That was my thought process.
I was very similar. That I counted off and got to L, and I said L's not right. It's got to be N.
Why did you know L wasn't right?
It's just I don't use it all the time.
Okay. Whatever. What was your thought process, Mike?
I just wrote down
Negative numbers.
A letter of the alphabet.
the 4 most common vowels, followed by what I thought was the 3 most common consonants. And then I made a list of other possibilities, and I thought L was the most common of those possibilities.
I also thought about writing H just because it was the 8th letter, and I didn't know if it was tricky.
And it's in the word the, which
Yeah.
is super common.
Yeah.
Andy, you should have followed your instinct.
No way. Was it really?
It was 8.
I almost considered. I was like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't play those kind of jokes on me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I said it would be a little tricky. It's also the 8th letter in the alphabet.
Yes.
That's why I chose the 8th most frequently used letter, because it also happens to be the 8th letter of the alphabet. And I don't know if it...
Dang it!
So for those of you curious, the letters are E, T, A, I, O. So 4 out of the first 5 are vowels.
Also got it correct.
N, S, H, R, D, L, U.
Wow.
So R, S, T, L,
So
N, E,
wait,
R.
out
D is
R.
more frequent than L,
Yeah.
and yet they give you L in Wheel of Fortune?
No, tricky, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So I looked all this up before I went on Wheel of Fortune. So that's part of why I know this. But I thought at least there was a trick in there, like there was with, the other Final Jeopardy clue that I don't want to spoil for people. I try to, have a little
Yeah.
fun,
You're
with
so
Final
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy clue. So now
I told you, he's trying to trick us.
Now you know for next time.
But it was, in fact, a letter of the alphabet.
It was a trick.
It was a letter. In fact, it was probably easier
What
than
are the
it
final
should have
scores?
been. Final scores. Mike stuck with -100, Andy with 200, and Kevin with 1599.
That's a low winning score.
Little known fact, but on the show, if you finish with negative points, you have to give them money.
Wait, who has to give whom money?
You have to give the show money because the show gives you
Oh,
money if you
right.
finish with positive
Yeah,
points.
true.
Yeah. You have to give Jeopardy money if you finish with negative points.
Well, if we handed out money on this show.
You
then I
really
would give
do?
it.
No, that's not actually true.
It's like, what?
I knew we would get one.
Well, thank you, Matthew. Even though it doesn't look like I enjoyed that round, I did. I had fun. I felt more like a spectator than a participant, but it was quite fun, and it was absolutely a blast to go through the Celebrity Jeopardy categories.
I'm glad you enjoyed it because last time we weren't sure if you enjoyed it just because you put in a dominant performance.
Yeah, no, I'm not a poor loser like these other guys.
Unless it's apple pie.
Well, that's just a stupid question. Insider poll.
Even if a poll's an insider poll, it's still talking to the same people.
Just assume they were a bunch of idiots. All right. Well, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, guys, for crushing me, particularly Kevin for that low-scoring win. And thank you, listeners.
I know how to win ugly.
You sure do.
And lose ugly. I know ugly.
You and Abe Lincoln. Listeners, let us know how you scored in this Celebrity Jeopardy round. And like I said, leave us a review Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. We would appreciate that. If you have any constructive feedback, send that our way as well at theguestroompodcast@gmail.com. Remember to tell all your friends and subscribe on basically every podcast format that there is. And with that, we bid you farewell.